reflection, right? So we define the total internal reflection as when a ray of light traveling from a denser medium into a rarer medium is incident at an interface of the two media at an angle greater than the critical angle. Okay, so when the ray is traveling from denser medium to the rarer medium at the interface, the angle of incidence should be greater than the critical angle. So if that is the case, the ray reflects back to the same medium, that is towards the denser medium itself. So we call this one as the total internal reflection. And we also just went through about the conditions for TIR, right? So the first one was the ray should always travel from denser medium to the rarer medium, and the second one is angle of incidence in the denser medium should be greater than the critical angle. Okay, so that was regarding the TIR, correct? So next we went through about this relation between refractive index and critical angle. So as you know that we have taken two medium 1, medium 2. N1 is the refractive index of medium 1 and N2 is the refractive index of medium 2, where N1 is greater than N2. Okay, refractive index of medium 1 is greater than refractive index of medium 2. So what we have done is we have just taken a ray, okay, which is moving from denser medium. Okay, so you can see there PQ is the incident ray. So as you know that the angle of refraction, okay, it is at the interface. Okay, so where the angle of refraction, that is QR, that is nothing but equal to 90 degree. Okay, angle of refraction is equal to 90 degree. So we say that angle of incidence is nothing but equal to critical angle. So R is equal to 90 degree. Okay, so when angle of incidence is equal to critical angle, the angle of refraction will be nothing but equal to 90 degree. Okay, so according to Snell's law, you know that we have a equation n1 sin I is equal to n2 sin R. Okay, so if you substitute the value of I as C and R as 90 degree, you are going to get n1 sin C is equal to n2 sin 90 degree. So you can write n1 sin C is equal to n2. So that can be written as sin C is equal to n2 by n1. So if you consider the second medium, okay, as air, so the refractive index of air is nothing but 1, and the refractive index of medium 1 is considered as, instead of n1, it is considered as simply n. Okay, if that is the case, you are going to get the equation as n is equal to 1 by sin C. So there is a relation. Coming to the next, brilliance of diamond. So as you know that for diamond, the brilliance, okay, that is the shining, that is the shining of diamond is due to the total internal reflection. As you know that the refractive index of diamond is very high, that is 2.47. So the critical angle for diamond at air interface is nothing but it is about 24 degree. Okay, so the phase of the diamond are cut in such a way that light entering from any phase falls at an angle greater than the critical angle. Okay, so hence it undergoes multiple total internal reflection, okay, before emerging out from the diamond. Okay, so when you view the diamond from the in the direction of emergent light, so it appears to be shining. Okay, so this is the reason why it looks like the diamond shines. Okay, it is due to total internal reflection. So the next is nothing but regarding the mirage. Okay, let us see what is that. It is an optical illusion observed in deserts on hot summer days, due to which a person sees a pond of water some distance ahead of him in which the surrounding objects appears inverted. It is caused due to total internal reflection. So as you know that mirage is nothing but it is a optical illusion. Okay, optical illusion usually observed in desert in hot summer. Okay, so as you know that in the summer days, okay, it appears to be like there is a pond of water at some distance ahead of us. Okay, ahead of us. Okay, when you just go through there, you'll come to know that there is no water there. Okay, but from the large distance it appears like there is a water. Okay, similarly, when you are traveling, okay, when you are driving a car, so when you see some distance ahead, okay, it appears like on the road there is a water. Okay, when you go to the closer, you will come to know that it is nothing but it is a mirage. Okay, it is due to the total internal reflection. There will be no water, it appears to be like that. Okay, during this case, what happens, the object appears to be inverted. Okay, so next, explanation. Okay, let us see how is this mirage is going to take place. Okay, mirage is found. Figure shows how mirage is seen in deserts during hot summer days. The temperature of air near the surface of earth is maximum, and the temperature of the other layers goes on decreasing as you go up. Therefore, the density and hence the refractive index of air layers increases as one goes up. Thus, a ray of light from the top O of a tree passes through air of gradually decreasing refractive index. As a result, the ray of light gets refracted more and more away from the normal. At a particular layer, when the angle of incidence becomes greater than the critical angle, total internal reflection takes place, and the ray of light is returned into the same medium. That is, it is reflected upward. When the reflected ray reaches the eye of the observer, it appears to be coming from eye. Hence, the inverted image of the tree creates an impression of reflection from a pond of water. Okay, so this is how the mirage is formed. Okay, so when you see an object, okay, let us say that you have a pond, beside a pond you have a tree. When you see that image of a pond, okay, in the sorry, when you see the image of a tree in the pond, okay, it appears to be inverted, right? So whenever we see a inverted image of an object, we assume like there is a water. Okay, there is a presence of water, we assume. Okay, so now coming to the explanation of this. So as you know that during the summer days, the temperature will be very high. Okay, so when you take the surface of earth, okay, the temperature near the surface of earth will be very high, that is a maximum. As you go away from the earth, what happens, as you know that the temperature goes on decreasing, right? So next what happens here is the density and the refractive index of air layer goes on increasing. Okay, as you go away from the earth, what happens, the density and the refractive index goes on decreasing, sorry, increasing. Okay, so it goes on increasing. Thus what happen here is the ray of light which is coming from the top of the tree, which you can see in the figure here. Okay, O denotes the object. Okay, that is the tree. So that light ray which is coming from the tree passes through the different layers of air. Okay, so when it passes through the different layers of air, it gradually moves in a decreasing refractive index. Okay, so see here, just I'll show. This is the, let us say this is the surface of earth. Okay, so as you know that near the surface of earth the temperature will be maximum. So as you go away from the earth, okay, the temperature should decrease, right? So the temperature keeps on decreasing, but the refractive index and the density, so what happens, it keeps on increasing. Okay, as you go up, what happens, the density and the refractive index keeps on increasing. Okay, so this is the actual procedure. So when you consider an object, okay, the light ray which is coming from an object, okay, which is moving in the downward direction, what happens is it undergoes the it moves in the decreasing refractive index. Okay, so since it is the ray which is coming from the object undergoes the refractive index, I mean it moves in a decreasing refractive index. So what happens, as you know that when you draw a normal, so what happens, the ray always move away from the normal. Okay, so finally what happens is, at a particular angle of incidence, okay, where the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, the total internal reflection takes place. Okay, so hence the ray of light is written into the same medium. Okay, the ray of light is written into the same medium, and what happens, it is reflected upward. So for an observer who is standing here, when it is viewed, okay, it appears like the ray of light, okay, or for him it appears like the ray of light is coming from this direction instead of from here. He feels like the ray of light is coming from here, hence he considered that the object is at this point. Okay, when he sees, he'll come to know that the image, okay, the image of an object is formed here, okay, which is an inverted image. So hence he considered that, so there should be a water at this place. Okay, so as we know that when you see the image of an object in the water, so what happens, it will be inverted, right? So hence for a person who is standing here, for him it appears like the ray is coming from this point. Okay, so where he sees an inverted object, okay, hence he considered that there should be a water present at this surface, okay, at this point. Okay, so this is regarding the formation of the mirage. Okay, just go through for a few minutes about this formation of mirage. In case if you have any doubts, you can ask. Go through for a few minutes. Okay, fine. So the next is total reflecting glass prism. Okay, so as I said, this has been not asked in the examination. Okay, anyhow we will just go through. Okay, so a right angled isosceles prism made of glass is a totally reflecting prism. Okay, it is a totally reflecting prism that turns the light by an angle of 45 degree. Sorry, that turns the light by an angle of 90 degree or 180 degree. When the light enters normally at the phase AB of prism, then it strikes the phase AC at 45 degree. Since the angle 45 degree is greater than critical angle, that is about 42 degree for the glass air interface, so TIR takes place at the phase AC and reflected ray emerges normally through the phase BC as shown in the figure. Similarly, we can get 180 degree rotation as shown in the figure B. Okay, so see here, first of all, what do you mean by this isosceles isosceles prism? Anyone? Okay, fine. Triangle whose adjacent sides are equal. Fine. Two side will be equal, one will not be equal. Any of the two adjacent sides are equal. Okay, fine. See you in this isosceles triangle. Okay, as you know that in this case, this is the light. Just a minute. Okay, fine. This is the incoming ray. Okay, that is the incident ray. So as you know that when the light enters, okay, so when the light enters at the interface of AC, okay, AC is an glass and air interface. Okay, so what happens here is, so this incoming incident ray strikes the phase AC at an angle at 45 degree. Okay, but the glass and air interface critical angle is about 45 degree. Okay, so hence this light rays strikes the phase AC at an angle greater than the critical angle. What happens? It takes place, I mean, the light emerges normally. Okay, the light passes normally to the phase of BC. Okay, the light passes normally through the phase BC. Okay, so this is regarding, that is nothing but we say that TIR takes place. Okay, so hence this is regarding the total reflecting glass prism. Similarly, you can get a 180-degree reflection. Okay, so here in the figure C, as you know that these are the two incoming rays, that is the incident rays. So at the face AB, okay, at the face AB, what happens? The ray strikes the face AB at an angle of 45 degree, which is greater than the critical angle, and hence it moves in this direction. Okay. Similarly, at face BC also, it strikes at an angle 45 degree greater than the critical angle. Again, it undergoes TIR and it moves in a this direction. Okay, and hence we say that it undergoes a rotation of 180 degree. In this case, in the first figure, it has been undergone a rotation of 90 degree. In the figure B, it has been undergone a rotation of 180 degree. Okay, so this is regarding the uh, total reflecting glass prism. So the next is nothing but optical fiber. Optical fibers are devices that effectively conduct light along any curved path. They are based on the principle of total internal reflection. So optical fibers, I think you are aware of these optical fibers, right? So these optical fibers are that nothing but that are effectively conduct light along the any curved path. Okay, even though the path is very curved, so the light will move effectively. Okay, the light passes effectively. So they are based upon the principle on, they work on the principle of this total internal reflection. Okay, so coming to the structure of optical fiber. Okay, so in this optical fiber consists of core. Okay, and the core is made up of glass or silica, and its diameter is in the range of 10 micrometer to 100 micrometer. Okay, core is nothing but, as you can see at the center, this is a core. Okay, which is made up of glass or silica. So the next is cladding. The core is surrounded by glass or plastic material known as cladding, whose refractive index is lower than that of core. Okay, so this is nothing but the cladding. This is the cladding. Okay, so cladding is nothing but it is surrounded by again glass or plastic material whose refractive index is lesser than that of core. Okay, so the next is nothing but buffer. Okay, buffer is nothing but this one. This is called as the buffer. Okay, for providing safety and strength, the core cladding system is covered with a plastic coating known as buffer. Okay, so the coating itself is called as the buffer here. This also provides optical insulation when hundreds of fibers are packed in a cable. The refractive index of the buffer material is less than that of the cladding. Okay, so the refractive index of this buffer is lesser than that of cladding. As you know that when you compare the refractive index of this uh, cladding, okay, compared to the core, it is lesser. Similarly, the refractive index of buffer is lesser than that of cladding. Okay, so as you know that, see here, this is the optical fiber here. Okay, as you know that this is a core. Okay, this is a core and this is the cladding. Okay, so now as you know that they have given that n2 is greater than n1. So what does it mean? The core has the greater refractive index. Okay, so as you know that when the light enters, okay, when the light enters the core, what happens at this surface? Okay, so at this surface what happens here is, I'm not able to draw properly. Mhm. Okay, when the light enters through this core, what happens at this phase? Okay, at this interface, what happens here is, since it undergoes the total internal reflection. Okay, so the light enters, it undergoes the total internal reflection, again it moves here, again it undergoes total internal reflection, again it moves in this direction. Okay, so it undergoes total internal reflection. Okay, when the light is moving inside the core, it undergoes multiple total internal reflection. Okay, so this is how the optical fiber works. Okay, so just go through for a few minutes about this, both the total reflecting glass prism and this optical fiber. Okay, fine. See, this bundle of optical fibers is called as a light pipe, or we call that one as optical cable. Okay, so for this proper working of this optical cable, the optical fibers must be thin, insulated from each other and parallel to each other. So for proper working of this, as you know that the optical fibers must be thin, insulated from each other, and it should be parallel to each other. Okay, so this is regarding the working of this optical cable. So you can see here the working of this optical fiber has been given here. When a ray of light entering the fiber from one end is incident on the core clad interface at an angle greater than the critical angle for the fiber. It undergoes total internal reflection several times before emerging out of the other end of the fiber with negligible loss of light energy. Okay, so as you know that So as you know that when the light enters, okay, so here when the light enters inside the core, so this line which you are seeing, okay, this is the core clad interface. Okay, when the light enters here, so at this interface, the it undergoes the total internal reflection. Okay, the light strikes at an angle greater than the critical angle, okay, at the core clad interface. So hence it undergoes total internal reflection again at this point. Again it strikes at an angle greater than the critical angle. So before coming out of the other end, okay, the light ray before coming out of the other end, it undergoes several multiple, I mean it undergoes multiple total internal reflection before emerging out. Okay, so this is the working of this optical fiber, and the energy loss in this optical fiber is negligible. Okay, so some of the advantages have been given and the applications has been given. Okay, so advantages you people go through. Coming to the application, okay, it is used in the field of computers and communication, in the medical instruments like endoscope, bronchoscope, and colonoscope. Okay, so next in the optical fibers are used in sensors. Okay, next in the decorative table lamps and in the total reflection prism. I think you have been seen this decorative table lamps, right? So it is nothing but it is an example of this optical fibers. Okay, so these are nothing but the some of the examples of, sorry, applications of total internal reflection. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, Nikhil has said that sir, 86 proton, 55 neutron, right? What is there to, why are striking your head so much, man? Okay, see here, what is, how you are going to find the number of neutrons? Okay, a minus z, right? That's all. Just go through the number of atomic number, just go through the mass number, subtract it in. There is the number what you are going to get itself is the number of neutrons. That's it. Okay. So Vijay, okay, Vijay has some doubt. Okay, Vijay, do one thing. Just go through the working of mirage once again. Okay, just go through how the mirage takes place. Just go through once again the phenomenon. Read out carefully so that you will get the answer for that. Okay, so with this thing I'll just conclude today's class. The next one is nothing but it is regarding the refraction at spherical surface. Okay, so the next derivation we have, which is of important derivation, that is this one. You can see this is a 5 marks question which they usually ask in your examination. Okay, before coming to this, we need to just go through about the some of the basic definitions, okay, which you can see there. Okay, so the spherical surface, aperture, center of curvature in the case of spherical surfaces. Okay, so this thing we will just discuss in the next class. Okay, okay, so with this thing we will just conclude today's class. Okay, students, thank you.